Who was the Queen's father? How did George VI die, and when was Elizabeth II's succession to the throne? Queen Elizabeth II has reigned for 65 years, ever since the death of her father, George VI. Here and #27 everything you need to know about how she ascended the throne. The Queen and #27's father was George VI, who was born on December 14, 1895. He was King of the United Kingdom and the Dominions of the British Commonwealth from December 11, 1936 until his death on February 6, 1952. The Queen succeeded her father on the same day. Princess Elizabeth, then aged 25, was in Kenya on a royal tour when she learned of her father George VI and #27's death. The king, who was ill with lung cancer and other ailments, had ignored doctors and #27 advised to see his daughter off from London Airport on January 31. Elizabeth and her husband Philip planned to travel to Australia after a week in Kenya. But on the morning of February 6, the king was found dead from a coronary thrombosis in his bed at Sandringham in Norfolk. Philip broke the news to his wife. The princess, eldest of the monarch and #27's two daughters and first in line to the throne, flew back to London as queen. She formally proclaimed her accession at a meeting of the Accession Council, a ceremonial body made up of privy councillors, peers and senior officials, at St. James and #27's palace on February 8. Queen Elizabeth II said, "By the sudden death of my dear father I am called to assume the duties and responsibilities of sovereignty. My heart is too full for me to say more to you today than I shall always work, as my father did throughout his reign, to advance the happiness and prosperity of my peoples, spread as they are all the world over." February 6 is celebrated every year with church services and official functions across the country. Flags are flown and soldiers fire gun salutes in London and #27's Green Park and the Tower of London, and also at Woolwich, Colchester, Edinburgh Castle, Stirling Castle, Cardiff, Belfast, York, Portsmouth, Plymouth and Dover Castle. The 41-gun Royal Gun Salute in Green Park takes place at midday. The King and #27's Troop Royal Horse Artillery in full dress uniform ride out from Wellington Barracks and parade past Buckingham Palace. 6 First World War era 13-pounder guns are pulled across the park by teams of 6 horses each. The guns are detached and soldiers fire blanks a total of 41 times at 10-second intervals, sending up puffs of white smoke. At the Tower of London, the Honourable Artillery Company will fire 62 rounds from 4 25-pounder guns facing the Thames at 1 p.m. Similar gun salutes are fired to mark occasions throughout the year such as royal birthdays, anniversaries and state visits. The Queen herself does not publicly celebrate Accession Day as it is also the anniversary of her father and #27's death. She reportedly spends the day in private with no official engagements.